All right, and here we are, the Commissioner's Corner, episode 7. Wow, moving
Lucky
along.
sevens.
Amazing. Lucky 7. We couldn't do this recording last night, but we're dedicated yet. So we're doing this podcast tonight, Sunday night. And this episode of the Commissioner's Corner is sponsored by a new Fall Bowl sponsor, Bsefer Chayim. Bsefer Chayim is a wonderful organization that I am involved with. It's an organization that's really an awareness for life insurance, that young couples should definitely get life insurance. It's important for everyone. It's an organization it's an awareness. It's to raise awareness for life insurance policies, so nobody should have to deal. Chas v'shalom, nobody ever thinks it's them. Nothing's gonna happen to their family, but we all know enough tragedies that happen, and they start raising money later on. So Bsefer Chaim is really a great organization that is raising awareness to the life insurance policies that young couples should get when you get married, especially when you have kids, and they connect you with trusted professionals in the life insurance business, and it's a tremendous organization, and they are sponsoring a Fall Bowl team and going to be a big sponsor of the MSL, and just a really, really a wonderful organization. All right, so we got a lot.
Sounds like an amazing cause, and it would have been funny if you would have said, "We're doing this tonight, not last night," and we'd be sitting on the floor right now. Yeah. Oops, oops. It really is Motzei Shabbos, but no.
Tell us what you did today. Tell us what you did today, please. Tell everybody what you did today.
So I figured to pass time on the fast after Chatzos, I decided to go into Brooklyn to pick up my grandfather. My grandfather passed away this year, to pick up his art school Shas. So I get to Brooklyn. I bring one suitcase with me, to drag it in and out. It's not one suitcase full. I mean, I was figuring there'd be like 20 svarim. How many mesechtas are there? 30? And I'm going in and out, in and out. There's like 70, 80 of these things. I'm like, what is going on here? I had no idea.
So basically, Yitz had no idea that art school had about 72 volumes, thinking it'd be like 10 to 20, it'd be easy, in and out. But
why are there 3? Why do we need 3 for Shabbos? You can't fit it all in one? What's going on?
Yes, art school has English to it, so it adds some words to. I'm not sure what you think art school is.
It's like an art school sitter. The art school sitter doesn't have English in it. Does it?
But did you get it all back? And the question is then, where are you putting all the 72 volumes in your house?
We're forced to get some new bookshelves, that's for sure.
You should use it and learn from it all. That's the bottom line.
That's definitely the plan. That's definitely the plan.
Awesome.
That's fine. How was your fast?
It was a fast. Long day, man. Long day. It's a long day. The fast was fine, but the day just doesn't move. It's like you can sleep for 2 hours, 3 hours, and you get up, still 6 hours left. You read a little, and then it's
Avi had a friend from Australia, so in Australia the fast ends like 6 o'clock. It's winter there, it's dark. So he's like, this is the longest fast he's ever had. It ends like 9 o'clock. Like, what's going on? Sarvatavis maybe for them, but that starts during the morning. This is like the real one for him. But anyway, yes, the fast is over. It's time to move.
Big week. We got playoffs. We got Fall Bowl coming up, and then we have breaking, exciting MSL news that we will break at the end of this podcast. Me and Yitz have been working on some big stuff with another player who we're going to mention later, and just I think everybody will be excited to hold on to listen to the end of the podcast to some really, really exciting MSL news.
We gotta get that little thing. You push a button and breaking news music comes on. We gotta get. It's the 21st century. We gotta get involved in this.
Yeah, we're glad we finally figured this thing out. You want more?
It's a good point.
So before we get going to discussing the matchups, playoffs, which I believe is going to be the best ever. I think matchups, the way we even spoke about it, the way the teams match up, the top teams, there's so much talent in the league this year that you have the top teams, you have a lot of pesky teams on the bottom, which I like saying. I think this year is a lot to look forward to. So
Yeah.
before we get into the breakdown of
Yeah,
that, yeah,
before you get that, just to throw this out, Shabbos, it was Stefan's son's bar mitzvah, so a lot of guys showed up. A lot of MSL guys showed up. We didn't pump it like the Mendy Rosen one, but a lot of guys showed up. You had the Friedmans, Dovi, and Ben Friedman showed up to it. A lot of guys. Ari Levine was there. Some of the regulars were there. Ushi Shami showed up. Very nice. I'm sure I'm going to miss people. Mendy Halpert showed up. And I was talking to someone, I forgot who it was, and they were talking about this year's playoffs, the way the standings broke out. Perfect the way it should be. You had 1 through 6 were probably the top 6 teams in the league. It was it was a balanced schedule, and it happened. It came out that way, and the 7th and 8th and 9th, it just fell the right way that it should have. And that, when you have the seeding exactly how we thought it would end up, I guess 1 and 2, 2 and 3 a little bit, but 1 through 9, it will lead or should lead to an awesome, awesome playoffs. And that's what you were alluding to right there. But yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. But before that, I just some shout outs we gave it last week. Some just noticeable mentions of guys who are involved in the league. So a big shout out to Nati Race. I forgot to mention him last week. Nati's always there, always by the games, always has input, helps with the announcing of the games, and is part of the Ben Friedman, Dovey Friedman, Berman group over there. So big shout out to Nati Race. Really, really, we love that guy. He always comes around. So solid player, great player. And so big shout out to him. Also, the Crunches. The Crunch family gets a shout out for being there, for always being definitely involved. And we got Yosef Grossman, we like shepherding with, but Yosef also, he does help us on the sides with different input, different ideas, and he does come to the games whenever he's around. So we love seeing Yosef Grossman as well. And how can I forget teammates of mine, the Lakewood Carpool, guys who are committed to coming in from Lakewood. You got, Simcha Adler, Uri Adler, Rabbi Rosenberg, and when my son-in-law's around, Ellie Nolman. You have literally a Lakewood Carpool that
Ari
comes
Levine.
in, Ari Levine. So it's really a shout-out to them, who's,
Wow.
dedicated to the MSL. And we have a good time with the Lakewood Carpool guys. So if I forgot anybody, I'm sorry.
Next week you'll get them.
Next week, exactly.
I'm sure they'll let you know.
So shout out to all you guys, and let's go, Yitz. Let's talk about playoff games. Big week. What do we got going on Monday night?
Let's dive right in. So tomorrow night, 7:30, first game is the play-in game. Huge rematch. They just played on Monday. Double R took care of Cobra easily on Monday, but I don't think Cobra showed all the cards. That Simcha Kornbluth and Kudia, they're a shrewd group, and Minzer, I don't think they showed all their cards that game. And it should be a good rematch. Double R probably had a little better season. Kornbluth's team, Cobra, started out 6-3. Haven't got a win in a while. They had the tough part of the schedule. We talked about this a month ago when we said they're hitting their tough part, and they hit their tough part.
But I will say about Cobra, they did, even some losses. They had some harsh losses. They were in most of the games, and they had losses. They're up going into the 8th, 9th inning, and they had some hard losses. So even with the tough schedule, they definitely played hard. Karish put some great games for them. So they
I don't know. You know what? Honestly, I don't even know who's starting. Karish or Zali Stein. It could be any one of them. They have two good pitchers. They need their guys to show up. They need Ellie Lehman to show up. This is a playoff game. It's a play-in game. They need him to show up. If they have all their guys there, they could put a formidable team up there. If they don't, their depth isn't awesome. It's not awesome depth. When Lehman's not there, they lose a big bat in the lineup, switch hitter. When Eli Karish isn't there, they lose a big bat in the lineup. But they have some players. Margolis had a great year for them. Playing a great shortstop. He really is. You have your guy, Nate Goldstein, in the outfield, Nussin Goldstein. Shia Khan is back. Big addition. So, on paper, they're there. They're there.
Exactly. And talking now, let's jump to Double R. You know what? I have to say that team, a big issue they've had is fielding in the past, and they fielded crisp this year. Their fielding got to stay in the playoffs now. Yeah. You got to up your game. You got to play smart on the bases. You got to play smart on the field, and that's really what differentiates. We always say that differentiates the
Sure.
top teams from the bottom teams are your running mistakes, your fielding mistakes. Is don't let things get out of hand. You give up a run or two, an error here, just and they've been
Minimize.
very good with it. They've been very good with that this season. So now that the playoffs come in, there's more pressure on them. They got to hold that.
And that's
Not to
big
not
question
to
also.
race. Yeah,
Big
is what.
question. Dinter didn't pitch the last game because they didn't want to show their cards, and Hahn pitched, and Hahn pitched a great game. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Is Rafi, second guessing? Should maybe Hahn start? Right before the playoffs, making that pitching change with Dinter, who pitched almost every game this season.
Dinter,
That would be
yeah, Dinter's pitched a lot, and he's been talked about for Cy Young. So he's definitely maybe they have a 1-2 punch they go with now.
right. It's going to
Then you
be
have your
interesting for
hitters
sure.
there. Nazi Race got to hit, got to come to hit. The hitters got to hit.
Ari
Rosenberg,
Rosenberg
Nazi
has to
Race.
hit.
These are guys that now you're in playoffs. The game gets there's more pressure to these games now, and time to step up. So
They have
you
good
should have.
hitters. They have very good hitters. Ludiner, Caesar, Nati, Wolf, Kaznicki. Could go through the whole team. Hahn is a good hitting catcher.
Yeah.
Nenner played second base. He played a superb second base last game. The masked man. He had a mask on. He had surgery on his nose. He played a great second base. And if they have him at second base, they have a great first base. I mean, they're a dangerous team. They are a dangerous team. If they get past this game, they're dangerous. It's going to be a big game, and I think it's going to be a very close game tomorrow. I'm hoping for a close game. Those are the most exciting ones, and I think it could go either way. It really can. Double R is probably the favorite, but it's going to be close.
I agree with you. I think it's gonna be a great game. Again, if everybody plays as is, Double R definitely has a little lead over them. I would say but again, Cobra has great talent, so it should be a
Sure.
great night. And good luck to both those teams. I'm happy for both of them. They both stepped up this season, and without a weighted schedule, they all played against all different teams.
Yeah.
So may the best team win.
All right. Second game of the night, 9:15. We have the number 2 seed RSK, which is my team, against number 7 MS Motors, Morty Kahana's team. I would say I think the last time MS Motors beat RSK was the second game of the semifinals in 2019. That
Wow.
was the first game. They might have been up 1-0. I don't remember. That was the last win, and that's now. This is 7 seasons later, right? 6 seasons, 2020, and so on. They really have not beaten RSK. Now I'm saying that because at the same time, I said the same thing last year about Consumers. Consumers hadn't beaten RSK since about 2016. Really, they haven't. And what happened? First round, Consumers won 2 out of 3, knocked us out. So although we have MS's number, anything could happen in the playoffs. MS is a very good team. You want to talk about MS? I'll talk about mine. You go for MS first. MS,
eh,
MS,
I know,
MS
right?
Motors, not MS
I
Motors.
know I'm terrible with that. So MS, they pitched a lot. Who's going to be pitching for them? I know Ellie Mann pitched for them.
I think
Kraus
Ellie
pitched for
might be
them.
pitching tomorrow. He might be.
You know what? So they have the pitching, but to me, that team has been very confusing all season. I just can't put a finger on what they're missing, but I do think a player that has to step up here is Chaim Koenig. They got to get men on base. They got to get men on base. Levi Chambliss is going to do his thing. You got to get to the early part of the lineup. Got to get on base to put pressure on you yet as a pitcher. If there's a guy here, a guy there on base, you're not afraid. There's not too many guys you're afraid of in that lineup as a hitter. But they have to, put together, a few runs there. Therefore, you need a guy like Levi Chambliss. You need a guy like Koenig to hit. Just different players like that, just to continue to put pressure on you, because they don't have the big boppers. They don't have the big 2-3
Right.
boppers that a lot of lineups have, and I think that's hurt them this year with manufacturing runs. So I think really Levi Chambliss and Chaim Koenig have to be that, and I think their pitching, whoever they're going with, whether it's Ellie Mann or Kraus, I think they got to keep them in the game. It's very important. They get a good jump on you and keep pressure on you.
Yeah. They have some hitters that have hit me well in the past. I know Nussin Reiser hits me well. They have Ellie Rader's a solid hitter. Ellie Berg, I think Ellie Berg. Doc Pike is back in Roth. I mean, they have a lot of solid hitters for sure.
They have solid hitters. They really do.
Solid hitters.
They're one of those teams that have
Those are the
solid hitters
dangerous
throughout the
hitters.
lineup, but there's no boppers. There's nobody really, not a lot of guys in that lineup that you're afraid is going to rip a double
Right,
into the gap.
I would say Kraus. Kraus has the most pop in that lineup. He goes to right center. I've had his number in the past, but he's hit me also. But the dangerous teams to me are the teams that don't have the boppers. Honestly, they have the singles hitters who dunk it in, take the extra base. Those are dangerous, and we know. Jason and I spoke about it. We have to be on our toes all game. We can't go in the first inning saying, "Oh, we're the 2 seed, they're the 7 seed. Let's just take it easy," because they'll score. They'll leave you a lead off with a hit. They'll knock him around. They'll score a run early. And once that gets in your head, it's tough. Now, we do have a good team. We have a very good team. We have, a lot of infielders tomorrow. We'll just throw it out there. Our infield tomorrow, we're going to have Ari. We have Mayer Stimmel. We have Wayne House. We have Isaac.
So you're coming fully loaded.
We have a loaded infield. Our infield's great. They hit it into the outfield. They'll be a little, better for them. But we still have a very good outfield with Max and Kut. And Phillipson. I don't think Block's playing tomorrow. It's a huge loss for us. I'll give that information out here if it's anybody who watches it.
The question is Moish Tischler going to be playing for
I forgot about Tischler.
That right? He's a really solid hitter, plays a great field. But this is busy season now. Now all of a sudden it jumps back into that season. Right. A guy like Moish Tischler, that adds depth to their lineup.
Tischler's dangerous. Tischler's a dangerous hitter.
Yeah, he really is.
Down the line. That would be a big loss. Big loss if he's not playing tomorrow.
Right. So the question is how available he's going to be for the playoffs, because he plays a great third base, good solid hitter, long drive solid hitter. So how much is he going to be available to stretch that lineup out? Like you were saying, they stretch your lineup. Moish Tischler is a big piece to see how much he's going to be available for the playoffs right now.
Yeah, 100%. We're coming with a strong team. As I said, we're missing Block, which is obviously a big loss. He's still injured. Hopefully the week off, he'll be here for game 2. We don't know. We're missing Naftali Barron. He's making a wedding this week. Mazel tov to Naftali Barron.
Naftali.
But we're still strong enough. Obviously, as I said, we have a very deep team. We're missing Avi Greenbaum. We're missing Avi Greenbaum. The commissioners don't always get what they want, right?
How many games did he play?
He played all 4 games he was here for.
So, yes, we'll leave it at that.
Big loss right there, especially with the block out. But anyway, I think it should be a good series. I don't think we're going to sweep, honestly. I think the winner will be in 3 games. Whoever wins, I obviously think I will win, but I do see it going to 3 games. I do. I know if we win game 1, we're definitely going to get all our guys in for game 2. That's what we do. That's our MO over the years. I think it'll be a great series. I don't think it's going to be blowouts.
Yep. I don't think any of these games are going to be blowouts. I think all these, as we'll go through it, I think there's going to be some great games.
So let's go. So Tuesday night, we have the number 1 seed, Maraktim. Not sure who their opponent is. It's either Double R or Cobra. So quickly, just Yaakov Kahana mentioned today that Double R has played Maraktim tough all year. I think it was a 2-0 game in one of them.
And I think they beat them, maybe.
I think they might have beat them all. They played them close. And I've heard like Double R saying that's a matchup that, they want to play some other teams, but they don't mind this matchup. They're not scared. Maybe that's bulletin board material for Maraktim, but Double R's played them tough. Dinter's had their number. Maraktim's got a great team. You can talk about them.
Maraktim, I think, they built themselves for the playoffs. They're a playoff-built team. They have 5 pitchers. I don't know who they're going to be pitching, but you have to assume, Zevi and Kaufman will be your pitchers, which, your top pitchers that we have in the league. They're really solid pitchers. But I think as they go into the playoffs, I think 2 players in particular that had really great seasons, but you make your name for yourself in the playoffs. You make your name, big spots, big shots, big hitting in the playoffs, and people get to know you. And the 2 names I'm going to mention, because they're both brought up when it came to All-Star names, when it came to MVP talk, Sam Race and Big Crunch. Both great players. They both had big numbers through the year. But this is where you make yourself. This is where people find out, are you legit, right? And I think they're both solid. I think they're both great players. We both do. We've spoken about it many times. But now that the player, Maraktim is going to need that middle of the lineup. Maraktim is going to need those. They have some nice hitters. They have a deep team. But your boppers throughout the season, Sam Race with the amount of RBIs and big crunch,
I
they're
believe.
going to have to come through now. They're going to have to come through now in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think this is time for them to shine. They took a big step this season
They'll get more
with in the
recognition if
numbers,
they're better in
and they
playoffs,
definitely
for
got
sure.
recognition. Definitely getting more recognition. But playoffs is let's go. Let's see what we got. So I really think those players have to stand up and will show, and I think they will.
And
I think
I would go.
getting their shortstop, Moshe Zinn, I think, is going to help them in the playoffs also. Their pitching, they play to a low ERA. They don't give up a lot of runs, but
Great
that's
feeling.
they move much of the Weissman to second base. They have Zinn at shortstop. They have a terrific outfield. Donnie Cohn, Sam Race. They have a terrific fielding team, and Meissen really helped that. He helped at his shortstop to really, not lock down that position. So again, that I'm sure they will play it, with their great pitching, great fielding. The question is their hitting, are they going to come through? Not, I believe they do. They're deep enough, but their big bats in the middle of the lineup will be important to them.
So to me, even though they have all those bats, I think the key for their success, honestly, is going to be Donnie Cohn leading off. If Donnie Cohn gets on base, they'll win. If Donnie Cohn doesn't get on base, no matter how long their lineup is, you don't have that speed, you don't have that leadoff hitter on. It's going to be a lot easier for the top pitchers to navigate that lineup. Ellie Race up second, Nenner up there, Zinn up there. You get that leadoff hitter out, it changes everything. You can start pitching around guys. Wayne House, all those guys. Chayim Race had a great season. I think Donnie Cohn is the key. I'm going to say that right now. He's the key for them. They have a whole great team. Ellie Race is great. MVP candidates. Donnie Cohn, get on base, they win. He doesn't get on base, I think they're not gonna. They might win a round or two. Then I don't think they could go all the way without him constantly having a 600 on base percentage in the playoffs. All right.
Point.
So Wednesday night we have two huge games. I mean, these are the matchups probably of the first round. I don't remember the order, but we'll talk about first. We have MJ, the number 4 seed, against the number 5 seed EYG. I think it's going to be a great series. I'll talk about EYG first, or you could, whatever, I'll start. EYG, see, I'll talk about them because we played against them towards the end of the season, and they brought their team. They had their guys. They brought their top 10 guys. They said they wanted to win it. They wanted to play it. They were still fighting for seeding with us at that point, and they brought their team. And that means they had Edelman pitching. They had Lowinger there. They had Jacobowitz there. Yitzy Stern there. Hollander there. Larner. Kiffel, Norman, Ozer, they had their guys. I'm not sure if Doberman even started that game. Maybe he did. I don't know. But they had their 10 guys. They were there. They were a tough lineup. And Edelman threw a great game. I think he gave him 2 runs, maybe 3. They are dangerous. They are a live underdog when they have their guys. No doubt about it. They're a strong team, live underdog, and I think this will be a series. MJ's a great team. MJ's a superior team. But when you have that top 10 there, and Yitzy Stern's going to come with his guys if they're available, it's going to be tough. What do you say about MJ?
MJ, I'm going to say Naftali Solomon. Naftali Solomon got to pitch. He's the one that carries that team ultimately, and Shami Reichman got to play like his MVP form. That team, MJ, they're always there at the end. They're always there. They fight you. They have enough bats. They have enough hitters.
Last year, lost the championship.
Right? They're always there. Question is, again, Naftali Solomon's got to be there for all the games. He was on and off throughout the season. I know he had simchas and different things, but Naftali Solomon, when he's on, he's going to carry his team. He's going to carry that team. And Shami Reichman, there's a reason why he was MVP last season. You have a guy like Yosef Grossman who's got to step up now. This is playoffs. This is we talk about all the top players, but what differentiates them is you got to come, you got to play, you got to hit in the playoffs. All these games are going to be close games. Most of the games are not going to be 10-3. These are going to be 5-3, 7-6. These are going to be that all the games are going to go down to the 8th, 9th innings. Your big hitters got to step up.
And they got big hitters. We're not even talking about Tenenbaum. Potash. Potash almost hit one over the fence against me.
Potash is a slugger. That he hits it hard. He's a slugger.
Yep. Groman. All right. Yoni Levine. This team's loaded. I can keep going and going and going. Yitzy Berger. There's no easy out on this team. There's no easy out. Dovie Friedman, Ben Friedman, Schreiber, Ritterman, Ushi. It keeps going and going. And Naftali Solomon's a great hitter. You don't even have to slot him. He's one of the pitchers you don't have to slot. So
Yep.
MJ will be there, but again, if EYG comes with their 10, it will be a game. It will be a game every time.
Yes, let's go. I think this is going to be an amazing series. If you had to call it, who you going with?
I'm going I'm going MJ. MJ in 3. This is, considering that Edelman will be by all the games. MJ in 3, and game 3 will be extra innings.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be
Wow,
that close.
wow. So I think it's going game three. I think if again, I think EYG needs all the players to come for the games. I think Avi Edelman has to pitch.
Yeah, if they
If
don't
Avi
come with
Edelman
all
is
the
not
players, they're not
there,
winning.
then this discussion's off the table. I
Yeah,
think they have to be there with all their players. But I think it's going three, and I think game three is going to be one of those nail biters.
yeah. I mean, Edelman's won championships in other leagues. It's time for him to win in this league. He's due. And the last matchup of the first round, again, this probably even better. We have last year's defending champions, the number 6 seed Consumer Lighting, against this year's number 3 seed Jules by DK. What a matchup this could be. You want to talk about your team or Consumer?
You know what? I'll talk about my team. You know what? Let's talk about Jules by DK. When they're all there, I mean, this team is deep also. But bottom line is, I'm going to say this: they got to show up. I'm trying to remember how many times throughout the season we played with our whole lineup. And again, we have the Lakewood Carpool coming in. They play five, six games. Then we had Ben Levinson and Lauer was injured a little. It's when everybody's there, this team is also a very, very deep team.
No holes.
They all got to show up. Everybody now, it's not regular season where I'm going to play, I'm not going to play. Everybody's got to play. And the second thing I'll say, especially against a team like Consumer, who we struggle against.
You
Jews
do.
by DA do struggle against them, and I think we struggle against a lot of pitchers like Mike Nussen. Is the big boppers, the big bats, the big sluggers, line drives, you got to get the singles, you got to get the line drive doubles. If you're just up there looking because Mike Nussen has a style of pitching, so you get up there and you're salivating to rip one of his balls, all you're doing is just a deep fly out to one of the Rosenbergs in the outfield. You got to come there with a game plan, line drives, get on base and keep the lineup moving. And I think that's something choose by DK because of the power bats in the lineup. They sometimes against these type of pitchers who I
Yeah.
know we struggle against. I think that's what
Yeah.
happens.
I'll get into
You
that in a
can go at
second.
it.
Right. I'm just going to add to what you said, which is very true. I'm going to bring it from my experience. First of all, Jules by DK, when the guys are there, there's no holes. You have Uri and Levine, Joe, Yossi, etc., etc., etc. I'm a Simcha. But what happened was we played you just last week or 2 weeks ago, and midway through the game, our team started feeling good about ourselves. It was a close game, and I just said, you know what I'm going to do? Let them get themselves out, and I just started lobbing it over. Now I was hitting my spots. I was going inside, but I was going nice and slow. And from I think the 5th inning on, it was pop up after ground ball to second base, and that was what I did. The fastballs they were hitting, and Nussen is that pitcher. Nussen will hit his spots. He will go slow. He'll go slower, then slower, then slower, and he'll force you, as you said, just like Ellie Mann does, just like Kraus, to hit it to their strong, to hit it to Levy, and to hit it to hit it to Dovey Rosenberg, to hit it to David Stimmel, to hit it to Chesky and Yossi Rosenberg in the outfield. And Nussen, they won a championship this way. He's not going to change. That's who he is. And he's going to get those outs. And if you try to hit the home runs because you see it's slow pitch, you're going to lose to them. You got to shorten your swing like you do, as he up the middle, shorten your swing, line drives. That's the only way you're beating the team. You're not going to beat them by hitting home runs over their head. Because even if you hit one over their head, you're not doing it again, and the next 8 will be pop-ups. And Consumer's not a team. As I mentioned, some of their players.
Consumer's from the best fielding teams you got. You have Dovey Rosenberg at shortstop. You have the Rosenberg at every other position. You have Flax at
Stimmel,
first
Lizzie
base.
Liff.
You have a Stimmel. You have a Liff. You have they're just a solid. They play the
Yeah.
right way. They're not a deep team, right? We all know that they
No, they're
come with
not
their
a deep
guys
team.
every game. They have their guys that they're always there. They always show up. But they always play Jules by DK. So I think this is going to go 3. That's my feeling. I think it's going to go 3. And I hope Jules by DK comes out on top. But I think there has to be a game plan for how you approach this team.
Yeah, my prediction is Jules by DK also. I don't know if that's good for you, Ezzy, because whenever I say something negative about a Flax team, bulletin board material, Yit said we're going to lose, and they're coming out and they're going to knock the whatever off you guys. But I do think Jules, I'm not using it as strategy. I do think Jules is going to win. I think Jules this year, if they don't win this year, it's something because you guys built, just like Meraktim, you built your team for this year. This is it. Some players aren't going to play as much in the playoffs. They're going to go with their guys, from what I think. And with all the new guys, Levinson, Lauer, Levine, these are new guys that are taking the spots of other people. And this is the year. I think you're missing Aaron Schwartz in the first round, which is a big loss. He's been hitting well, but maybe that's as he means you're going to catch. We'll find out. But this is the year. If they don't win this year, Aaron has the stat. I don't think you guys have come out of the first round since 2020, which is crazy.
Wow. With the talent that we have, we got to do it.
Yeah.
But again, they're just
they're going to make
just
you
play
earn it.
right. They will play to the end. They will play to the
definitely make you
end.
earn it.
I always love that team, love the passion, and it's always hard to video anything. Josh Flax in the playoffs, because anytime I get a clip, he's just. You're all out to get us, and some words fly out of his mouth.
Censor it.
He loves the Baltimore material stuff.
They did, admittedly so, they did have a hangover this year. They stopped coming early to games. They didn't win that many games this year. They won 8-9 games. Let's see if they can just turn the switch. It's not easy to flip switch.
I'm going to throw something out there that they definitely, they're not playing the same way as last year. Yishai.
Ooh. Yeah.
We forget about him. Yishai was a big player for them. You plugged him in different positions. He was a big bat in the lineup.
Daniel Lenevsky.
And right, those two players. So maybe they have a bigger effect, and they're a bigger piece than we think. To start.
Right. All right. So those are the series. Those are the matchups. We'll see how it plays out. This week, there's just one game for each team, I believe. On Sunday next week is game 2. So we'll see. Next month of Shabbos, we'll be able to talk. We'll see who's up 1-0. And we'll be able to talk about that. You mentioned earlier a little tease. What was that little tease?
All right. So we got big news. MSL, Yitz and I, and Rafi Rothschild have been working on.
Double R.
You know what? We appreciate the league. We enjoy the league. And we're always trying to step up. What more can we do for the league? We always talk about, the camaraderie, the friendships, and the fun that we all have together. And different players mentioned to me how much last year's fall ball took that to the next level, and the chat just evolved into everybody becoming together in friendliness.
Family.
And Yitz and I were saying, okay, what can we do now to do a little more appreciation to get everybody together with a fun time? So Yitz, what are we doing?
All right, so Rafi Rothschild, I don't know if anybody knows, or most people might know already. He has this awesome venue. He does bar mitzvahs, weddings, all the goods, varts, all that. And he is partnering with us. We're partnering with him to host an MSL Men's Night Out. It's scheduled right now for Thursday, August 28th. There's no games that week. We know people go away, so we're doing it at the end of the week. There's some weddings earlier in the week. In this beautiful, beautiful venue. We're going to post videos and pictures of it. Food,
drinks,
drinks.
Games. It's going to be an all-night men's night out for all our
entertainment,
for our softball league, for our volleyball league, for our basketball league. This is for a thank you and just a way to encapsulate it all, put it all together. We're gonna have a fun night, and the menu is gonna be great.
Oh man, we saw the menu already.
Great chill night.
Yeah. And to cap it off, we will probably do the awards ceremony there as well. So everybody's gonna be around. We'll give out all the awards then, kind of like the ESPYs. Give out the awards. Have a great time. It's a Thursday night. Who works Friday anyway, right? We're really looking forward to it. This is something that we've been in the works for a while now. Thank you, Rafi Rothschild, Double R Staffing, for partnering up with us on this. But this is something, and we're hoping to have an annual thing. Annual awards ceremony, MSL Men's Night Out. It's
Absolutely,
gonna be.
and we talk about it. We talk about the fun and all the guys being together. Here's an opportunity to get everybody into a room, all everybody from all our leagues, all the MSL players,
Yeah.
and just have a fun night out. And we're gonna go all out. We're gonna have the
All in.
drinks,
Not holding
the
anything back.
we're gonna have a good time together. Something we're gonna continue working on. We'll continue posting information, but that's exciting news that me and Yitz wanted to break. So everybody, reserve the date. As of now, it's August 28th.
Thursday night, August 28th. Yep. Looking forward. It sounds better after a fast. Also, I just want to eat. I haven't
I'm
had meat.
hungry. We're going through that menu. Rafi
Oh my
sent us the
gosh.
menu, and I'm like,
For
oh
9 days,
baby,
he
let's
showed it to us.
go, let's go. I had
Uh,
somebody in Shul now ask me, Ezzy, when are you going to Smash House? Tomorrow night.
of course.
A whole week of no meat, no nothing. So this party again, we saw the menu, and just we're going to work it up. If anybody has any ideas or whatever it is, please bring it our way. We want it
Yep.
to be a fun night, and we want everybody to be there and just
We're gonna
have
send an
one good fun
RSVP.
night out.
We'll send out a
Yep.
poll for RSVP. We want to know how much food, how much drink, how much hookah, how much whatever it is we need. So we're going to send it out this week, maybe next week, whatever it is. But we're looking forward to an awesome event. Fall Bowl is coming up. We're going to announce the captains later this week. And the draft will be next week after the first round of playoffs, or at least most of the first round's over with. Really looking forward. We filled that up very quickly. 8 teams, 12 guys on a team. We have a lot of guys on the wait list. So, make sure you're secure, your spot's secure. You know how to do that. And we're looking forward to another awesome season. And we'll have some more announcements next week, too, maybe. Because
There's always stuff. You
lot
always think like, what are we going to talk about? What do we have? There's always stuff.
There's always stuff.
Thank goodness. Always good stuff. Always a
We
lot
let
of
it out
energy.
a little drip, 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 drip. We let it out. Yeah.
But we're always
So
working
anyway,
on stuff, and we're always looking at ways to improve.
So another awesome episode, guys. We will see you. Hopefully everybody shows up tomorrow night for playoff action. We'll see you tomorrow night. Guys, have a great one. We'll see you soon. Take care.